Hey Warrior Princesses, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing kind of a DIY fun Halloween costume tutorial for you. In my opinion, this is a psycho porcelain doll look, but you can make this kind of however you want to. It was really fun. I took a dress that kind of shrank in the wash. I got this dress from Target a few years ago. It's kind of got this like vintage look to it, and I just kind of covered it in what appears to be blood. Now I don't have any fake blood. I kind of ran out of fake blood, so I did use just your standard paint. You can take this up a notch by adding real blood or, you know, adding some digital effects stuff. I just kind of wanted to do this simply, make it so that anybody who didn't want to go out and spend a lot of money could do this, because not only can you use like paint, you could use red lipstick, you could use a combination of eyeshadows. So I just wanted to keep it kind of on the simpler side, and the makeup is also quite simple as well. Honestly, the hardest part of this was curling my hair, because I hate curling my hair, but I think it turned out really good, and I think the makeup turned out really good as well. So if you like this look, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share with your friends, because I'd love to build our little warrior princess community. So if you'd like to see how I got this look, stick around, okay? Bye!
Hi guys, so to start this video I have pre-curled my hair, as you can see, and I am going to start this tutorial off by using the Becca Ultimate Complexion Cream. This is the lightest foundation I own, which I think I've mentioned a couple of times. I'm just going to take this on the back of my hand. You've seen me put on my foundation. It's not a big deal. I'm going to take a, oh look at that curl. I kept that in just for that little clip. I'm going to take this e.l.f. brush and I'm just going to buff this into my skin, as you see me do a million times. Like I said, this is lighter than my natural skin tone, so it is going to kind of wash me out a little bit, but that's kind of the point. A porcelain doll is very pale doll, typically. I mean, if you are a darker skinned lady and you buy darker skinned porcelain dolls, of course they're going to have a darker skin tone, but all the porcelain dolls I had growing up and ones that match my skin tone are very, very white and very light skinned. Now I'm taking my Wet n Wild eye primer, and I want to ensure that my eyeshadows don't go anywhere. I mean, this is a simple look, but if you're going out for Halloween, if you're going to be dancing, if you're going to be sweating, you know, whatever, you want to make sure that you have a base down so that your primer or your eyeshadows don't go anywhere. And I'm going to set this with a brand new powder. It's the Essence All About Matte Powder, and I'm using this BH Cosmetics brush to do so, just to, you know, keep that primer in place and make it smoother for my eyeshadows to go over. Now this is a little trick that I picked up recently. This is a tiny little razor comb, and I am touching up my eyebrows with this. I'm not proficient at this, so I may not be doing an excellent job, but it's very easy, it's very simple, and it keeps your face from turning bright red. So when you remove hair, like tweezers, using tweezers, make sure face red. Sorry if that was a bit of a ramble, but now I'm just taking my NYX brow wit pencil and I am sculpting out my brows and filling them in. I think you've seen me do this a few times before, but in case you haven't, this is obviously a sped up version. I'm not that great at filling in brows or my own brows. I'm still kind of practicing and figuring out, but if you want to see how I do mine, this is how I do it, and it does take me about a million years to get them to look at least semi-decent, so I don't feel, you know, embarrassed to go out in public, etc. But I'm just showing you this one brow. Obviously I did do the other brow, and I would hope that you would, you know, fill in your other brow as well, but I'm just showing you the one. This is the Essence Make Me Brow. I love this stuff, and I'm just using that to deepen the color a little bit, make it a little bit less warm, and also keep my eyebrows in place. Now I'm using the Urban Decay Naked Basics palette. I am taking the shade Naked 2, and I'm going to put that in my crease with this fluffy BH Cosmetics brush. And this doesn't really pick up on camera that well. It definitely gives definition to the eyes. You can definitely see it in person, but this is just a transition shade just to add some depth to the eyeballs. Porcelain dolls tend to not have a lot of eyeshadow going on. They tend to be very natural, so I just wanted to add a little bit of something into my eyes just to kind of define the eye shape and kind of bring life to them. You'll see me do that on both sides. I may show you one side, I may show you both sides. Really just depends on how the editing process goes. This is the Carly Bible palette. I'm taking this very light mauve shade. I just wanted to give a little bit of color to my eyelids. That Naked 2 shade really kind of cools down the eyes and kind of washes them out a bit. I wanted to add a touch of like a mauve color, so I'm just using a little bit of this, and on a brush that I got off of the Wish app in a set, I'm using that in my crease and my outer V as well. So I'm just taking, as I showed you, the tiniest bit of this darker mauve shade. It's got more purple in it. Just tapping my brush in it. I know it didn't look like I picked up anything, but I did. And I just wanted to add just the slightest bit of definition color to the outer V. I'm just placing this in the outer V, not really bringing it up into my crease at all. Just kind of putting it there. And next I'm taking this flat shader brush and this light shade. It's more of a brightening shade in the Naked Basics palette, and I am popping that on the center of my lid. I'm going to do that on both sides, and I'm also going to take this up on my brow bone, just a brow bone highlight, just to kind of give definition to my eyebrows and blend everything together. So you'll see me do that in just a moment as well. This is a beautiful shade that brings a lot of light to wherever it's placed. I really like this. Now I'm taking, this is technically an eyebrow brush, but it has a really good shape for getting around the curvature of my eye, and I'm going to go into that Naked Basics palette one more time and use the darkest shade, the black in this palette, and just kind of press it, not really rubbing, but pressing just at my eyeline, because I'm going to be using false eyelashes. I want to ensure that the band doesn't show, and I don't want to use a liquid liner because that's not really typical of a porcelain doll to have a wing line or anything like that. So I just want to keep this really, really, really tight and close to that lash line. Like I said, this brush has an incredible shape. It's perfect for getting right in that corner, and that's why I like using it, even though technically it's an eyebrow brush. Now here I am putting on false eyelashes, or falsies as they're called. I absolutely suck at this. It takes me so long. It takes forever for me to get them to look right. I practice and practice and practice, and I'm still not proficient. Hopefully one day I'll become the expert, but for right now I'm bad at it. So practice makes perfect is all I can say. I'm practicing. I encourage you to continue to practice because I still haven't gotten it down. And I know that there are tools you can use and other things, and I'm going to look into those, but for right now I just do what I can and make it work and, do my thing. But really, it's bad. It's so bad. Like, I make my eyes water. I'm so sucky at it. And I know I usually put mascara on before I put my falsies on, but I forgot, so I'm gonna do it in this step. And I was totally out of the frame. I'm sorry, I'm a bad filmer, but I just added a little bit of that black shadow from the Naked Basics palette onto the rim of that eyelash band, just to kind of blend it in with my eye a little bit more. And that's really going to complete the eyes. Now I'm going to move on to my face. I'm using my Better Skin concealer in the lightest shade, and I am concealing under my eye, I'm concealing everywhere you normally see me conceal, my chin, around my nose, down the bridge of my nose, on my forehead, anywhere I have any sort of redness, and I'm just going to buff that into my skin with my trusty Morphe brush, as you see here. So that's what I'm doing. I sped it up because you've seen me do this a million times, and honestly, it seems like it takes a million years. It's really a quick buffing process, but watching it in editing, I feel like I'm sitting here forever just buffing concealer into my skin. It's ridiculous. But I really like this concealer. It definitely gives me a nice kind of semi-satin finish, which I'm really looking for in this specific look. I don't want anything too dewy. And I just used a sponge to kind of, press in a little bit more product. This is a powder brush I got with that Wish set, and I'm using that Essence Matte powder that you saw me use on my eyes, and I'm just really kind of putting this all over my skin. I don't mind if this looks a little bit powdery. This is a little bit of a powdery powder, but I don't mind that because porcelain doll skin tends to look a bit powdery, so I think it's fine. Now I'm taking this blush brush, and this Tarte brush in Entertain is the shade, and I am densely packing this on. I am really getting in there, and I'm really rubbing it on. I'm not doing a slight like brush that I normally would. I'm really in circular motions pressing this into my skin and ensuring that it's really there, because porcelain dolls have a very strong blush. I don't know what else to say. They don't really have any bronzer or contour. It's mostly just eyelashes. Blush and lips are what the focus of a porcelain doll's face is, so I am packing this blush on. And in circular motions, just kind of really buffing it into my skin, making sure it's standing out. And I'm going to go back into that powder just to kind of subdue it just a touch, but also make it look a little bit more powdery. The blush that I'm using is actually a little bit too good for this look, but that's okay. Now this is the Soft Kohl white eyeliner from Rimmel, and I am just putting this on my lower lash line to really open up my eyes. I want them to look big and bright, and it really helps to enhance the eyes, as you can see. Now I'm just going to do some bottom lash mascara. Like I said, porcelain dolls, it is all lashes, blush, and lips. So I'm really trying to make my eyelashes, especially my lower lashes, stand out. Now I'm using a Jordana lip liner, and I am going to overline my lips a little bit. I'm going to follow the natural curvatures of my lines, but you will see it kind of looks a little bit crazy for a hot second until I get it worked out. But I'm overlining my lips, making sure that they're especially pointed, because this is a very popular lip look for a porcelain doll. I did research, I know. And so that is filled in. I filled in my lips entirely, and this is an e.l.f. moisturizing lipstick that I'm using. Once again, I'm sorry I kind of suck. It's out of frame. I'm trying to be better about it, but this didn't really work too good, so, you know, you live and you learn. This is a really pretty color, though, and I think it works really well for the porcelain doll look. And there you have it. That pretty much completes this entire look for the porcelain doll aspect of it, but I have a bit of a surprise. Wait for it. I'm going to take this Paradise paint in red, and I'm going to use some water to activate it and just rub it all over my hands. And I'm really just going to try and work that in. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be, you know, fully covered, but just rubbing my hands together, just really kind of making it look like blood. Now, you can use lipstick for this. You can use, like, Wet n Wild sells really cheap lipsticks, and you can buy, like, one or two in the same red shade and just really kind of get them all over your hands. The only thing I would say is to set that with a powder or a setting spray in order for it not to get everywhere. And I'm also going to take this Menron color, I think it's a color pot is what it was called, a color pot in brown, and I'm just going to try and dirty up that red color. I'm also going to take this and, you know, rub my hand over down the side of my face, make it look like I'm bruised and bloodied and all that jazz. Alright, that completes this look. If you liked it, please like. Don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.